Hello, dear students. Good morning. Uh, in the first class of the hepatitis B virus, we have discussed about the genome and morphological structure and antigen present in the hepatitis V virus. Okay. Today we will discuss about the replication of the hepatitis virus, that is somewhat very complex and different from the other DNA containing virus, and how the virus will transmit in details, and how we can control the hepatitis virus. uh, so let's start the replication of the hepatitis V virus. Okay. So here a flow diagram of the hepatitis B virus replication. You can see here the complete viral particles, that is the virion that have capsid, partial double stranded DNA, and envelope, because this virus is the envelope virus. So after the attachment, and hepatitis V virus attached to the host cell by pre-S region of hepatitis B surface antigen. I have told you in the earlier class. You can see here also, this one is the pre-S1. Through these regions, virus attached to the host um, cell. Okay. And just after the penetration, what happens? The viral particles enter and uncoated. Uncoated means the release of the polymerase enzymes that have multiple function here, um, and the virus multiply in cytoplasm as well as in the nucleus of host cell. Okay. Double-stranded DNA of the hepatitis B virus is partially double-stranded DNA. That means the double-stranded DNA is not the completely joined to form the circular double-stranded DNA. So, to be active and to perform the various functions like synthesis of the its own genome and other RNA, and various type of the proteins that acts as enzymes, the virus must have to form the complete circular DNA. And for that, the virus, by using the host DNA repair systems, the partial double-stranded DNA gets repaired by using the host enzymes and form the covalently closed circular DNA, that is the triple C DNA, covalently closed circular DNA. Now this DNA is active and can synthesize other RNA and protein through the transcription and translation. This part is a nucleus. You can see clearly covalently closed circular DNA here by the process of the transcription form mRNA. Two types of the mRNA. First one is the messenger RNAs. Several type of the messenger RNA that are required because they have to prepare the different type of the protein and enzymes. And second one is the pre-genomic RNA. This is the pre-genomic RNA, that is the pgRNA. You have seen in the earlier class in the slides, these slides here. This one is the pgRNA. Here you can see here, this one is the pgRNA. Okay. What is the function here? You can see these pgRNA, pre-genomic RNA, released from the nucleus in the cytoplasm and gets encapsulated in the core particle, core protein, that is synthesized by translation process through this mRNA, that is the capsid. And actually this capsid is hepatitis B core antigen. You know, core antigen, I have explained about this core antigen, pre-core antigen in the earlier class. So this is the core particle, okay, containing pre-genomic RNA. Okay, you know, I have told you that the RNA polymerase, polymerase enzymes that present in the virus here, this one is the polymerase enzymes, have multiple function. Three main function is the reverse transcriptase, RNase H, hydrolytic activity, and third one is the polymerase. You know, these viral particles, core particles, not the viral particles, core particles has pre-genomic RNA, but you know, the virus virion particles of the hepatitis B virus have partial double stranded DNA. So that definitely there should there will be some mechanism that form the pre-genomic RNA into the DNA. How this occurs? Actually, first the definitely here is the RNA, and we have to prepare virus have to prepare the DNA. So this RNA, that is the complete circular DNA, there is no breakage. This RNA, that is the pre-genomic RNA, acts as a template to form the negative sense strand DNA by using the RNA transcriptase enzymes. That means the synthesis of the DNA from the RNA by reverse transcriptase enzymes. The enzyme is same. It functions as reverse transcriptase, RNase H, and polymerase also. And due to the reverse transcriptase enzymes, the DNA that forms from the pre-genomic RNA will be complete, and that is called negative strand DNA. Okay, and definitely now what should happen? Definitely RNA should be removed, and that's why the enzymes acts as RNase H. That means it cleaves the RNA from the RNA DNA substrate and makes free the DNA. Now these core particles have negative sense DNA, negative strand DNA, because it formed from the pre-genomic RNA. That's why it is known as negative sense DNA. Okay, and what will happen now? These core particles have capsid, that is the hepatitis B core antigens, and now the polymerase enzymes form second strand of the DNA from this negative strand. But during the process of formation of the positive sense DNA strand from the negative sense DNA strands will not complete due to some reasons, and that's why the positive sense strands will be incomplete and short, and negative sense strand will be large. And negative sense strand are identical in all the hepatitis B viruses, but the positive sense strands are short and variable among different hepatitis B viruses. And during the after the synthesis of the DNA, positive sense DNA from the negative sense, now the viral these core particles, that is the core proteins, have partial double stranded DNA, and after that it acquires envelope from the pre-Golgi body. Okay, it acquires envelope from the Golgi body. Okay, uh, and now it becomes invalid virus. Now there is the two chance: either this virus may enter in this cycle, that is the re-enter in the cycle, or may exit from the host cell to infect the other cells or healthy persons. In this way, this virus is replicated inside the host cell by using nucleus and cytoplasm both, and complete their replication process and produce several numbers of hepatitis V virus, and that are ready to infect the other host cells. Okay, so moving to the next, now the transmission, the transmission of the virus is occurs through the multiple routes. Parental routes, that developing country most common mode of the transmission by blood and blood products. Transmission also occurs by inoculation during the surgical or dental procedure, maybe through the razor, toothbrushes. Hepatitis V virus, one thing that is very important, I have highlighted here. Hepatitis V virus is more infectious than HIV and hepatitis C virus. Very little amounts, that is the 10 to the power minus 4 ml of the virus, blood, infected bloods, can cause the successful infection. That is the very little. You can see 10 to the power minus 4 ml, that means the 100 microliter of the blood can be infectious. Chance of transmission of hepatitis B virus following a contaminated needle prick injury is nearly 30%. You can see here, in the case of the hepatitis B transmission through this type of the activity, that is the 30%, but hepatitis C and HIV, in case of hepatitis C and HIV, the chance is very low in comparison to the hepatitis B, that is the 3% and 0.3% respectively. Okay, moving to the next. Sexual transmission is found very common, have been reported. Vertical transmission, that means the from mother to the newborn, that are very common in the China and Southeast Asia, and the transmission may occur in any stage, like inside the uterus during the delivery, that is the maximum chance, and during the breastfeeding. Risk is maximum if mother is hepatitis E antigen positive. Direct skin contact may be a reason for the transmission, and that is called impetigo, especially in the children. That is a special case, generally occurs in the case of the bacteria, but the virus can also be transmitted. Although hepatitis B virus survive in mosquito, but there is no any report that confirm the transmission of the virus from infected persons to the healthy persons through the mosquito. So don't be confused about the mosquito. Okay, moving to the next. Here, if you want to know in details about the impetigo, you can go through this. No, high risk group, surgeons, maximum risk, paramedical workers, sex workers, especially the homosexual males, recipient of blood transfusion and organ transplantation, drug addicts. These groups are the maximum high risk of the infection. Epidemiology, hepatitis V virus infection occurs throughout the world, usually as sporadic, but occasionally outbreak occurs also in the some hospitals. Reservoir, human is the only reservoir. Case may be inapparent or symptomatic, or carrier may be temporary, that may virus present for week to the months, or persistent or chronic, that may virus present for the more than 6 months. Carrier can also be grouped into two groups: simple carrier and super carrier. Simple carrier means the low infectivity transmit, the virus is at lower rate. Okay, that means the carrier persons have low level of hepatitis B surface antigen, but there is no presence of hepatitis E antigen, that is the pre-core antigen. Supercarrier, they are highly infectious and transmit the virus efficiently, and the persons have hepatitis B surface antigen, E antigen, DNA polymerase, and hepatitis B virus DNA. That means the complete part of the virus. Okay, moving to the next, hepatitis B virus prevalence determined based on the hepatitis B surface antigen carrier rates. Type 1 pattern, very common in the Sri Lanka and Nepal. Type 2 in the India, Bhutan, Indonesia, Maldives, and type 3 in the Bangladesh and Democratic People's Republic of the Korea. Okay, moving situation. Situation in India and world, you can see here the hepatitis B virus infection occurs in the about 350 million people and cause 3 lakh deaths per year in the worldwide data. In India, overall India accounts for the second largest burden next to the China. India is considered to have an intermediate level of hepatitis B surface, hepatitis B virus. Endemicity is 3.7% prevalence, that is over 40 million hepatitis B virus carrier present in the India. South Indians are more common carrier. Hepatitis B virus is second most common cause of the acute hepatitis in India after the E. Moving to the next, resistance. Virus can be easily destroyed by hypochlorite, sodium hypochlorite treatment that are used for the disinfection and by autoclaving. Period of infectivity. Patients become non-infectious once hepatitis B surface antigen disappears and is replaced by anti-hepatitis B surface antibody. Maximum infectivity occurs when hepatitis B E antigen elevated in the serum. That means if the serum of the infected persons have high level of hepatitis B pre-core antigen, that persons is more infectious. Okay, moving to the next, hepatitis B virus and correlation with the HIV. It is estimated that 10% of the total HIV infected peoples worldwide are co-infected with the hepatitis B virus. Although hepatitis B virus does not alter the progression of HIV, that means there is no relation, but the presence of HIV greatly enhance the risk of developing hepatitis B virus, and then can cause severe cirrhosis and liver cancer. So hepatitis B virus will be more prone in the HIV positive persons. Age. Hepatitis B virus infection depends on the age. You can see here very clearly chance of developing acute hepatitis, that is the inflammation of the liver, 1% in the prenatal, 10% in the early childhood, and 30% in the late childhood. This is the chance because of the during that times mother's antibody are protecting here. Chance of the developing chronic hepatitis, that is the inversely related to the age, 80 to 90% in the prenatal age. You can see here the data, because now chronic that occurs in the later stage, and after during that times there may be mother's antibody are not available in such amounts that can protect. 30% in the early childhood and 5% in the late childhood. This is because of the immune system. Okay, because the HIV infection, hepatitis B virus infection is immune mediated. Okay, here you can see the graphically following the exposure of hepatitis B virus, acute infection, that is the inflammation in the liver, acute hepatitis that may occur, and acute inflammation that does not means the hepatitis, that because that case may recover and will not cause the hepatitis. So acute hepatitis, among these case 70% subclinical and 30% icteric, that is that so symptoms of the jaundice, and subclinicals and icterics, here more than 90% gets recovered, only less than 0.5% may develop the fulminant hepatitis, that the severe hepatitis, and less than 5% may develop the chronic hepatitis. And among these less than 5% chronic hepatitis persons, less than 2% chance that they become recovered and will not develop further. 30% more healthy carrier, that is the dangerous, because they carry the virus but not show the symptoms, and 12 to 20% becomes cirrhosis. And among these 12 to 20%, 6 to 15% of the cirrhosis patient may develop in the liver cancer. Okay, so clinical manifestation, incubation period is 30 to 180 days, onset is slow and insidious, that is the more dangerous. Patients may present with the subclinical infection. Clinically, hepatitis B infection is indistinguishable because the all other hepatitis virus cause similar type of the symptoms. Hepatic complication, very few cases may proceed to the complication, that is the fulminant, and extra hepatic, that is the only 5 to 10% of the patient may becomes extra hepatic complication, that is the during the prodromal phase, early phase, a serum sickness like syndrome occurs, that so by arthritis, rash, angioedema, that is the sudden formation of the edema, rarely hematuria, that is the presence of blood in urine, and proteinuria, that is the presence of the protein in the urine, high amounts, may develop in the 5 to 10% of the patient. This is due to the immune complex deposition. Okay, moving to the next laboratory diagnosis, we know that antigen markers, antibody markers, molecular markers, and non-specific markers are available to diagnose the case. Antigen markers, hepatitis B surface antigen, E antigen, and C, that is the pre-core and core antigens, and similarly antibody against the hepatitis B surface antigen, against the E antigen, that is the pre-core and core antigens. Definitely molecular markers, that is the hepatitis B virus DNA, we can diagnose by presence of hepatitis B virus DNA, partially double stranded DNA, by using the PCR. A non-specific marker, that is the elevated level of the enzymes, elevated liver enzymes, and serum bilirubin also indicates the infection of hepatitis B virus. Okay, here in the graph you can see very easily that is the when the antigens and antibody can be detected in the body. This indicates the month after the exposure, that is the 1 month, 2 month, and 8 months. Here you can see the incubation period and prodrome acute disease, that means the 1 month 30 days to the almost the 180 days here incubation period, and during that time hepatitis B surface antigens can be detected, and hepatitis B core antigens can also be detected, that is the IgM. And during the convalescence, early and late, anti-hepatitis B surface antigens can be detected, and in the late stage, IgG anti-hepatitis B core antigens can be detected after the 8 months. In the graphical formation, you can see here the hepatitis B surface antigens can be detected very early, and after that hepatitis B E antigens can be detected, and then after hepatitis anti-hepatitis B core antigens will be develops in the body, and the, the levels can be fluctuated after that times. So in the detection and the purgence of this type of the antigen and antibody in the samples clear, very easily clarified that the what is the age of the what is the time of the exposure, that means the when the persons have been exposed and get in, that means the gets infected by the hepatitis V virus. Okay, these are the markers and the interpretations you can go through very easily. I have also explained during the in the earlier graphical presentations. uh, Hepatitis B surface antigen, E antigens, core antigen, and others. Here treatments. Okay, in acute hepatitis B infections among the previously healthy adults, there is a chance of 99% recovery. That means there is no need of the antiviral medicines. Specific antiviral drugs are indicated in the stage of the severe hepatitis, and drugs may be the pegylated interferon, nucleotide analogs, that is the lamivudine, adifovir, entecavir, and telvivudine and tenofovir. These are the antiviral medicines can be used in the severe case, not in the normal case. Prophylaxis, we have very good vaccines that are very effective also, and that can protect the persons for 15 years or the longer times. Hepatitis B vaccine is a recombinant subunit vaccine that is developed from the hepatitis B surface antigen, used as a vaccine candidate which is prepared in the Baker cyst by DNA recombinant. That is the this is the recombinant vaccines. Route of administration: vaccine is administered by intramuscular route over the deltoid regions, and but in the infants it is through the anterolateral thigh. Dosage 10 to 20 microgram per dose. Half of the dose is given to the children before 10 years. This dose is the for the adult. Schedule is the very clear, 0, 1 and 6 months. There should be gap of 4 weeks between the two doses, and this dose is for the adult. 0 means the first time vaccination, and after first times there should be gap of the 1 month, and then after the 6 months. National immunization schedules said that for the childhood age, the 6, 10 and 14 weeks after the birth, along with the DPT. Additional dose can also be given in the high prevalent area. Minimum interval should be 4. Okay. Markers of the protection, that means the how that protects recipients are said to be protected if they develop seroconversion, that is the appearance of the antibody with anti-hepatitis B surface antigens titer of more than 10 international unit per ml. No low responders, very few, 5 to 10% individuals Non-responders, but that means the do not show seroconversion. Low responders, seroconversion occurs slowly. Seroconversion occurs in about 95% of the infants. That is the very good result of the vaccine. Children and young adults, however, among older age, there is a chance of the 65 to 75% conversion only, but that is also good. Protection may last for 15 years longer. Booster dose are needed after 5 years, especially the high risk zone. Nowadays, scientists are working on some different vaccine, that is the whole hepatitis B surface antigen, that will be the product of pre S1, S2, and S gene, that is the complete S, and that show better seroconversion in comparison to the recombinant vaccines. So, uh, this is all about the hepatitis B virus. Thank you. Thank you so much.